For men, hair loss can start as early in their 20s, and up to 66% of men, starting in their 20s into their 30s, will look for an over-the-counter product to help regrow hair, which is up from 42% from last year. Men tend to notice hair shedding on their own, so they may just say that one day they wake up, they see their hairline receding, but you'll notice in yourself when your hair starts to shed, and it can be a moment of great panic because our hair is very closely tied to our self-esteem, and it really does shape our perspective. That may not be ideal, but it is a reality, and so we have to deal with it. But the great news is there's so much that you can do to deal with it, and you don't have to feel alone or hopeless about it. Genetics plays the greatest role in hair loss, and up to 95% of hair loss really is in your genes. And it comes from both sides of the family, the mother and the father. I have plenty of patients who say that no one in their family has hair loss, and why am I getting this? Well, it's still in your genetics. It just doesn't show up until it gets to you. That's kind of bad luck in that way. But the longer the hair is gone from any type of hair loss, the harder it is to help it to regrow. So you need to see your dermatologist, have a diagnosis, and start treatment early. Male pattern hair loss typically starts with a receding hairline, and then it kind of just starts to recede back, and then you notice thinning in the crown, and then it kind of all meets up, and then you have this one little not so attractive patch in the middle that really should just be shaved off at the end of the day and can be very annoying. So that's the pattern, and it has different stages. So the earlier you get it, the better the chance you have of minimizing it. Most of these treatments and drugs say that they're not ideal for just the temporal recession where the receding hairline is the problem, but usually when you have that, the rest is coming. And so the sooner you start the treatment, the better the chances are that you're going to minimize the rest of the hair loss that might follow. When men come in noticing a receding hairline and they want to start using a product like Rogaine, I actually recommend that they use it on the entire scalp, even though it's just the temples where they're seeing it. And I find that it's because it is coming down the road, probably sooner rather than later, and they may not notice it yet. It's an area that's kind of harder to see as it is. So I always recommend they treat the whole scalp, not just the areas where they actually see the hair loss. If you don't see any hair loss and you really don't have a hair issue yet, even if it's in the family, that's not when you act, because everything has side effects, and it's not worth taking a risk when you don't have a problem. And also, stress can accelerate hair loss. The more you stress and worry about it coming, the more you actually make it a self-fulfilling prophecy. I find people who worry about hair loss sit there and they kind of check to see if their hair is falling out. And what they're doing is they're pulling their hair out. And that can create its own issues. There aren't hair gels that I've seen that cause problems. I do think that over-pulling, over-processing, over-checking on your hair can do that, but that's really more traction, like pulling or stretching or treating your hair. I don't think that dyeing your hair is an issue in terms of hair loss or hair issues, so I don't have any problems with men or women coloring their hair. But I would say if you have an issue with a particular product, try switching the product and see if that helps. If you have a hair loss issue, you'll know, and then you'll deal with it, and just be comfortable and know that there are things that you can do, and it's not hopeless and you're not helpless. But until then, enjoy this good day, and you'll deal with what comes when you get there.